Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me in this live section. We're talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Yesterday in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's live section, the judge did something that surprised or shocked the whole Nigeria. He closed the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He closed the case against the federal government. So, meaning that there's no case to answer. That is why he did that, is because of there is no case to answer. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer. So that was why he did that. Many Nigerians would be wondering, because what he did yesterday shocked the whole Nigeria. Nobody was expecting him to do that. But the truth is there. He has no case to answer. That was why the judge did that. Anyways, in this live section, we're breaking, I'll be showing you reasons, I'll be telling you guys reasons why why the judge James Omotosho had to close Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case against federal government. So stay tuned and watch, or stay to the end of this live section. So now, and also, Showere has also come out to say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer. In fact, even at first, there was no case at all. At first, he even said that he was warning Nigerian government that this case you guys are picking, you cannot finish it. This thing you guys are doing, it won't end for you guys' favor. Showore said it. Showore was warning Nigerian government when they arrested him from Kenya. I'm going to play a video for you guys to watch later, to see what Showore did. But before that, let me just, tell you why the judge had to close the case against close Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case against Nigerian government. Now let's do a recap of when he was arrested in Kenya. The recap of Kenya arrest, the extraordinary retention, the 2015 arrest. Now, he was arrested in 2015. He was arrested in Kenya. In fact, he was kidnapped, because I'll call it a kidnap. Even Kenya government was against it. So now, he was kidnapped in Kenya, and then in 2015, and then they brought him back to Nigeria, and then they granted him bail. In 2021, they rearrested him again. So he has been there till now, guys. So now, as the appeal court in Abuja in October 2022 ruled that Nnamdi Kanu's rearrest from Kenya was illegal. Yes, you don't have to come to Kenya and just kidnap him like that. In fact, they said it was illegal and they discharged him, meaning the case is closed and everybody should go home. That was what they mean. The Kenya, they said that that the appeal court in Abuja in October 2022 ruled that Nnamdi Kanu's rearrest from Kenya, ruled it out, saying that is illegal, and then they discharged him, meaning that the case is closed and then everyone should go home. That was what happened in October 2022. Remember, I'm just giving you guys reasons why the judge, closed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case against federal government, because there's no case to answer. The case is dead. The case is dead. So now, here is one of the reasons why he did that. So now, the appeal court in Abuja in October 2022, we are doing a recap of the Kenya arrest and everything to show that Nigerian government are just illegally doing their thing. Even when appeal court in October 2022 has ruled out that arrest or rearrest from Kenya, they said it was illegal. They discharged him, meaning that the case is closed and everyone should go home. That's what it means. But the government refused. Nigerian government refused. Nigerian government are just doing all in their power to make sure that they silence Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The government refused to obey the order. Instead, they went to the Supreme Court, which later allowed the case to continue. Now, the federal government, did not back out. They still went to the Supreme Court, which later allowed the case to continue. Now, one reason is that the Nnamdi Kanu's arrest in Kenya is illegal, and that's one of the reasons, why the judge had to do what, close the his case against federal government. So now, but even this case is, even now, right now, even when I'm talking to you, the case is losing weight. The case is losing weight, and the reason is simple: no real evidence. And that brings us to the latest update that happened yesterday. No real evidence. the federal government refused to obey the order. Instead, they went to the Supreme Court, which later allowed the case to continue. But even now, the case is losing weight. And the reason is simple: no real evidence. And that brings us to the latest update of what happened yesterday. Just recently, yesterday, on Wednesday, 19th June 2025, the federal government of Nigeria officially closed their case against Nnamdi Kanu. Now, in the law, this means that the prosecution, that is the people trying to prove he's guilty, has finished presenting all their evidence and witnesses. They brought four witnesses in total. Let's note that. They brought four witnesses in total, and that is no more evidence, no more smoking gun, no weapon, no recorded violence, nothing connecting Kanu to terrorism. Yes, that was what it means by FG closing his case. So now it's the defense team's turn to, that's Kanu's lawyer. But guess what? They're not even bothering to bring any witness at all. Instead, they have filed what is called a no case submission. A no case submission. So now it is the turn for Kanu's lawyer to bring their own witnesses. But guess what? They are not even bothering to bring any witnesses at all. Instead, they filed what is called a no case submission. So now, a no case submission, for those that doesn't mean, it means that the case is empty. The government has said everything they have, and even if we don't, say anything in return, it still doesn't prove Kanu is guilty. So this man should not even be standing trial. That is what the lawyers are saying. This case should be dismissed immediately. The court has now given 14 days for the defense to file their written address, and also 14 days for the prosecution to respond. The next court date is 18 July 2025. So now, let's talk about something very important, why Kanu is not supposed to be arrested at first, why he should not be in that place at first. Nigerian government, let's know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a British Nigerian political activist, and then he's the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra and IPOB. Now, that is a group that is fighting for the independence of the southeastern region of Nigeria. What is their goal? Their goal is simply to bring back the old Biafran Republic, which existed between 1967 and 1970, before it was defeated in the Nigerian Civil War. To many Igbo people, Kanu is a voice. He speaks their pain, their marginalization, their frustration with how Nigeria is being run. So you can see the sole aim of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not there to cause violence. He's not there to, to carry weapons or to kidnap. That's the sole aim, and which the judge has seen and said, no, this man has not done anything. Even the witnesses they have been bringing, the case is just so empty. The witnesses cannot prove he committed terrorism. It can't prove. So that was why the judge had to close that case immediately and gave them 14 days. So now, like I said, to Igbo people, Kanu is a voice. He speaks their pain, their marginalization, their frustration with how Nigeria is being run. He started Radio Biafra to spread his message. Like I said, Radio Biafra is like a weapon. His weapon is Radio Biafra. It is what? But the Nigerian government sees IPOB as a threat. And in 2017, they even declared IPOB a terrorist organization. That's the root of all the legal drama. This terrorism, which they can't even show that he's a terrorist. So now, in 2015, he was arrested by the Nigerian government for allegedly inciting violence and treason. He was granted bail in 2017, but in 2021, something serious happened. Kanu was kidnapped. Yes, he was kidnapped from Kenya, and secretly brought back to Nigeria. You can see what Nigerian government are doing. And then Kenya said, appeal court in Abuja had to rule it out and saying that the kidnap is illegal, or the fact that he was kidnapped from Kenya, that is illegal, and there is no case, and they had to close the case. But what did the government do? The federal government did not back out. Still, they went to the Supreme Court. Now, the Supreme Court now continued the case up till now. They continue the case. So now, this is called extraordinary retention, meaning someone was taken from another country without following the legal process. He was taken from another country without following the legal process. That was what Nigerian government did. That was fact. Looking at all this, that was why the judge had to even close that case, in his last court section, because there's no case there. So now, the extraordinary detention just simply means that someone was taken from another country without following the legal process. And guess what? Both Nigerian courts and international human rights groups said that the move was illegal. That is it. Nigerian court and international human rights group, they said what? The move was illegal. I don't know why they are still holding him there. That is why the judge had to do what? Close that case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and federal government. Now, in October 2022, the Court of Appeal in Abuja ruled that the federal government violated international law by kidnapping Kanu from Kenya. You see, one of the reasons why the judge had to close that case, with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case with the federal government. In October 2022, the Court of Appeal in Abuja said that the federal government violated international laws by kidnapping Kanu from Kenya. That made any further trial or charges invalid. They discharged him of all charges. That was what the appeal court did. They discharged him of all charges. But what did the government do? Instead of obeying the ruling, they filed an appeal at the Supreme Court and they refused to release him till date. So now, Nigerian Constitution in section 287 says that the court orders must be obeyed. So this is not about mercy or pardon. It's about the law. If a Nigerian citizen have been freed by the courts, the government must let him go. Anything else is lawlessness. That is just it. That is what Nigeria, they claim that they know the constitution, or they claim they are abiding by the rule of law. But no, these people don't know anything. They're not abiding by the rule of law. That's the kind of government we have today in Nigeria. What did the Nigerian constitution say in section 287? This is what we have to put to this Nigerian government, but they have refused. In the constitution in section 287, it says that the court orders must be obeyed. So this is not about mercy or pardon. Never. It's about obeying the law. If a Nigerian citizen has been freed by the court, the government must let him go. Anything else is what? Lawlessness. That's just it. So now international bodies like the United Nations and Amnesty International have also spoken out. They said Kanu continued this detention is what? Arbitrary. His continued detention is what? Arbitrary. United Nations and Amnesty International have spoken out. They said that Kanu's continued detention is what? Arbitrary, meaning it has no legal basis anymore. The case is dead. They also said it's unjust because he didn't get a fair trial. It's cruel because he has been in confinement and denied access to proper medication. Yes. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has suffered, he reportedly suffers from a serious health condition, including heart problem. Even prisoners of war are entitled to basic medical care, let alone someone not convicted of any crime. Can you imagine, guys? So now, Amnesty Nigeria and international bodies like United Nations and Amnesty Nigeria has spoken out. They said that the continued detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is what? Arbitrary, meaning that it has no legal basis anymore, and is unjust because he didn't get a fair trial, and it's cruel because he was denied access to proper medical care. I remember when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes to court, every time to say that he has a lump in his armpit because of his health condition. They did not respond to him. Just, recently they had to grant his request by giving, before they used to give him doctor that doesn't know what he's doing. Someone that is not good in that field, they will give it to him. He'll be prescribing drug for him. And after he will still complain of the, continue the way he will still be complaining that the thing is still disturbing him. So it was recently that DSS had to grant his request by giving him the doctor that he said he wants. That was when he started, saying that was when he said he'd not like the health condition at least reduced. Because if anything would have happened to that man there, Nigeria is in a big trouble. So now, that he reportedly suffers from a serious health condition, including health problems. Even prisoners of war, terrorists are also entitled to basic medical care, let alone someone not convicted of any crime. So now there's a bigger picture. Now, keeping Kanu in detention is causing more tension in the southeast. That's just the truth. But Nigerian government claims that that Kanu is the one terrorizing the southeast. In fact, ever since Kanu is the one that is causing more problem or is the cause of insecurity in the southeast. Every time he appears in court, the region shuts down. Every time there is new news about him, violence or protests break out. There's fear, anger, and a growing gap between the government and the people in the southeast. Even political leaders like, Soludo, Ohaneze, people like, okay, recently it was Ohanese that actually begged the president, they have been begging the president to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They started a dialogue at least. Because if Kanu is released, IPOB may relax their agitation, the Southeast can finally breathe. The federal government can start talks instead of using force. Now, let us not forget this. Let us not forget this at all. Even people like Asari Dukubo and Tompolo, I don't know if you guys know, in the Niger Delta, also agitated. Sunday who also agitated. Let's not forget that. People like Asiri Dukubo and Tompolo in the Niger Delta agitated. Sunday who also agitated. But the government gave them amnesty and dialogue. So why not apply the same strategy with Kanu? That's the question. Why not? These people are scared. In fact, they are scared because they know that Kanu knows their plan. And he knows the truth. So they're keeping him there so that he cannot spill out more truth. They are saying going after his Radio Biafra because they know that he used that Radio Biafra as a weapon to fight Nigerian government. He has no gun. He doesn't carry gun. He doesn't kidnap. He doesn't kill. His weapon is what? His words. So you see, Asiri Dukubo and Tompolo in Niger Delta once agitated, but the governments gave them amnesty and dialogue. So why not apply the same strategy with Kanu in this case? They are scared of him. Like I'm saying, Tinubu can never stand IPOB or stand Nnamdi Kanu. Never. It cannot work. It cannot stand. That is why they're looking for a way. And George actually shocked them. I know that by now Nigerian government will be in a dancing in a pond of shame because what he did yesterday actually shocked them. He closed the case against Nigerian, closed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case against Nigerian government. So now they say that IPOB is a terrorist group. That's what Nigerian government says. But many ordinary people in the same Southeast say that we have never seen IPOB kill innocent people. We have seen unknown gunmen, but nobody has proven their IPOB. That's just it. They say IPOB is a terrorist group. That's what Nigerian government says. But the truth is that many ordinary people in the Southeast said that they have not seen IPOB kill innocent people. We have only seen unknown gunmen, but nobody has proven their IPOB. This is what they are saying. And in fact, IPOB have denied any involvement in attacks of civilians. DSS cannot prove that the IPOB is a terrorist group. When they asked one of the DSS, remember they presented 4 witnesses. When they asked one said that they asked him, he's 25 years of work. What can you say about the peace or the violence in the Southeast? One said that IPOB is the cause of is cause of insecurity in the Southeast, and I'm just laughing. Does this one know what he's saying? They claim that Nnamdi Kanu has been financing and ordering them. So right now that he has been arrested for like 5 years, now he has been in detention. Is this the one ordering them to be buying people? That's one question we need to ask them. So now, IPOB, has also denied any involvement in attacks on civilians. So should someone be locked up because of suspicious alone? That's just it. Should someone be locked up because of suspicious alone? Even if his followers are accused of crimes, is that enough reason to keep the leader in jail? Is that enough reason? Nigeria wants to be seen as a democratic country, but how can we preach democracy to other African nations, yet we ignore our own court rulings? Nigeria wants to be a democracy. They claim to be practicing democracy. So how can they preach democracy to other African nations, yet they ignore their own court rulings? It means the government look weak and lawless. When you disobey the court, you are saying that we are above the law. When you disobey the courts, you're saying we are above the law, and that is dangerous for every Nigerian because tomorrow it could be you or it could be me. Many Nigerians believe that Kanu should be freed, not because he's a saint, but because the law says so. Keeping him locked up is injustice. We need peace, not war. Dialogue, not bullets. The same court that sentenced ordinary people should also be obeyed when it frees someone. That's what Nigerians believe. Kanu should be freed, not because he's a saint, but because the law says it, or the law says so. Keeping him locked up there is what? Injustice. We need peace, not war. We need dialogue, not bullets. The same court that sentenced ordinary people should also be obeyed when it frees someone. Now, the ball is now in the government. The ball is now in the government court. The world is watching. Nigerians are watching. History will not remember what happened next. So that's just it. These are the reasons why they have the judge closed the case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is the reason. So now the case has been heavily guarded. Sometimes even media and lawyers are denied entry. Let's just know. In the last court section, yes, media were denied. It was media blackout. Even Showere, said, just listen to what Showere said. Let me play a video for you guys to listen to what Showere said. He talked about the DSS, trying to DSS did not allow some to enter inside the court. He talked about the way Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is. In fact, he said Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer. Guys, take a look.
Oh, sorry, 19th of June 2025. Sorry. We are happy to announce to the world that the prosecution has finally closed their case today with their last witness, PW5, known as.
Very excited to be here as always, even though, as usual, the DSS prevented me from entering the courtroom. But I'm a living witness to history. The first time my Mazi was abducted from Kenya and brought here, I was in court to warn them that, in fact, I was one of the few people that came here as soon as they did their kangaroo arraignment, that this case is not going anywhere and that there's no way. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It's going to end up the way it started, as nothing, and it will end up as nothing, because there's nothing that can stand up on nothing. The foundation of this was malice. It was the suppression of a section of Nigerian people and the violation of the fundamental right of a Nigerian British citizen who was abducted from another country, brought here without due process, and detained indefinitely. Even presented from having open and fair trial, which we have seen all over the time. As a matter of fact, today we already had an altercation with the DSS, preventing people from moving around here. But they started by blocking everywhere. Now they are tired, they can't even block half of the road, because you cannot stop an idea whose time has come. And this is what we have warned them. And I'm glad that they are reaching the dead end that we have predicted. The dead end is that there will be no case submission. In fact, I would have an issue with the lawyers if I were to be involved, because there's no need to even file a no case submission in a case that never existed in the first place. But you have to do your own legal work. And let me use this opportunity to also appreciate all the lawyers and all the people who have stood in solidarity with Nnamdi Kanu. I said it that if I'm the last person that will stand with him, I'll stand with him. And mine is not political. Yes. In fact, the most unpopular political decision to take in Nigeria is to stand with Nnamdi Kanu. So if you want to win election, you know who to stand with, which is the federal government. Yes. But I'm not doing this to win election. I'm doing it for the freedom of our people everywhere we might find ourselves. And I believe that if Nigeria is going to become one, it has to be on the basis of justice. You cannot be suppressing a section just as the right to flourish and think that you can go home to rest. And you have seen it now. Even those people who never believed Nnamdi Kanu a few years ago, they have seen it with what the Fulani herdsmen are doing, killing hundreds of people. They are doing it also in the southeast. They killed in Ebonyi, they killed in Enugu, they are killing in Edo, they are killing in Kogi, they are killing people across the country. In Imo, yes, there were some killings. So this was what Nnamdi Kanu told you as a prophet. But he has always told me, when I met him in New York, that he's not a prophet. He's just saying the reality of what the Nigerian project is all about. That it was a fake project put together
So, guys, you heard what Shawere said. He said people that never believed in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they are now realizing and, they are now standing with him now because of what he said then. Now Fulani people are attacking everywhere, the southeast, in fact, all the whole states in Nigeria, you see all these Fulani men around there. And you're asking yourself, in the north, there are many, there are, vast land in the north. Why is it they cannot like carry their cows to like around the north and then leave the east? Leave the west. But then you see in Nigeria, it's only Nigerian government that will accept cows to be roaming about, coming, going about the whole 36 states. And they use that opportunity, they use that way to buy and kidnap people to cause violence. If you go, the north is one of the region that has, or is the only region, or the region that have vast lands, and is good, they remain there. But because of Nigerian government knows their plan, these people, these Fulani people, their aim, they're not carrying cow around. So the president is saying that when the last thing that happened in Benue State, when he released his press statement, the president is saying that the governor of Benue State should dialogue dialogue with them for land, like because they are grazing about what? They are grazing and they are buying people. They have vast land in the north. Why can't they stay there and carry their cow must they carry their cow around? Which country will you see that people carrying cow around? That's to tell you. And now let me just tell you that the president would not have made step or take a step because of this thing that happened in Benue State. It's just that the people are now panicking. That is why he had to take that step. That's why he had to go to Yelewata. If not, he will not. It's not even necessarily that very dark man actually what's it called, went to that place and viewed or showed or made a video of what really happened, the people that died, the skeleton and everything. It was because of the whole Nigeria now was now panicking. Everybody is scared, or even people that are in the southeast, because you know that Benue is the closest state to the southeast. And these guys, they are not even backing out anytime soon. They even come after the Benue attack. There was another attack that was launched in Benue State too, but not Yelewata. Now you can see what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been saying right from time. Now it's happening now, and people that do not believe in him is now they are believing in him, standing by him. Their eyes have opened. It has happened now. So, guys, so now let us note that. Let's talk about what happened during the court sessions, the last court sections. Now, let's talk about how he has been inside the court, especially what the DSS witness said. Now, the case has been heavily guarded. Let's know that. Sometimes even media and lawyers are denied entry. Yes, just like the last time, Shawara even said it that DSS denied him, entry, but finally was present. you know, he was present there. Even media, the last time they did not even cover the proceedings because DSS um or blocked media coverage. They were restricted. Now, but now let's talk about this DSS. Like I said, four witnesses were presented. I'm just like giving you reasons why the judge had to close that case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with the federal government. Now, the first DSS witness said that, he's a senior officer. He came to testify. He tried to prove that Kanu was leading IPOB and planning illegal activities. But under cross examination, he couldn't present hard evidence of Kanu personally ordering violence. Sure, you can see. Now, since they started this DSS witness and everything, they cannot prove, just like I said. The first DSS witness said that he's a senior officer. He came to testify. He tried to prove that Kanu was leading IPOB and planning illegal activities. But under cross examination, he couldn't present hard evidence of Kanu personally ordering violence. He admitted they got most of their information from radio broadcasts and social media posts. So now that was what the DSS witness said. That one could not even prove he is a terrorist. Now, the second DSS witness, now that's another DSS officer, said that IPB member were involved in attacks in the southeast. But again, he couldn't show direct proof that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ordered or planned any attack. It's not about talking, like I said. When you point hands at somebody, it's not you, because anyone can wake up in the morning and then accuse someone of something. Like I said, you have to prove or show good or tangible evidence that this person did this. But DSS are just laying accusation without even proving. They said he conducted attack, but again, they cannot give a direct proof that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ordered or planned any attack. The DSS witness too is a DSS officer. He said that IPOB members were involved in attack in the southeast, but again, he couldn't show direct proof that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ordered or planned any attack. He couldn't connect Kanu's word directly to any physical attack or violence. You see, one of the reasons why the judge had to close that case. Now, in fact, during cross examination, he was sweating. He contradicted himself many times. That's to show you that these people don't know what they are doing. Believe me, they have no proof, they have no evidence. There is no case. The case never existed at first. It never existed. So now, court observes, look at what the court observers said. Now, independent observers, including foreign missions like the American embassies, have quietly attended some sections. They are watching closely how the case is being handled. Many lawyers, both Nigerian and international, have said that if this case was a normal court set system, it would have been thrown out long ago. Guys, can you imagine? Court of observers, like in the last court section, an American observer was seen in the court. Now, the American embassy has currently attended some sections. They were watching closely on how Nigeria handles this case. And many lawyers, both Nigerian and international lawyers, said that if this case was a normal court system, it would have been thrown long time ago. That is what American observers said concerning this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case. That if this case was a normal court system, it would have been thrown out long time ago, because Nigerian government knows what they are doing. They want to silence Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra. They want to pull it down. That is why they are trying their best. Even when appeal court has ruled it out, saying that the kidnap of Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria is illegal, but still they persisted to make sure that they bring down Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But they don't know that Biafra is a spirit. Yes, if Biafra is not a spirit, when Ochuku died, Biafra would have died. But no, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took it up. And now, they think they are going to silence him. It's not going to work, because, American observers said that if this case was a normal court system, it would have been thrown out long time ago. So now, why Nigerians say he should be released? This is one of the reasons why Nigerians said he should be released. Now, Nigerian court has said the way he was brought back from Kenya was illegal. The appeal court said it and ruled it out and said case closed. But guess what? Nigerian government did not back out. The government has finished presenting their case and still no strong evidence. Guys, you can see this is one of the reasons he should be released. Number one is Nigerian court has said the way he was brought back from Kenya was illegal. And then the government has finished presenting their case and still no strong evidence that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu committed treason and terrorism. Now, the man has been in solitary confinement with health issues. His detention is only creating more anger and tension in the southeast. International observers and legal experts are calling it an abuse of human rights. These are the reasons why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be released. One is Nigerian court has said the way he was brought back from Kenya was illegal. The government has finished presenting their case and still no strong evidence. This man has been in solitary confinement with health issues. His detention is only creating more anger and tension in the southeast. Even international observers and legal experts are calling it an abuse of human rights. This is an abuse of human rights. Everybody is saying it. International law against it. So now, the Nigerians are watching carefully. Like now, on the 18th of July 2025, the Federal High Court will rule on the no case submission. If the judge agrees with Kanu's lawyer, the case will be dismissed and he will go free. If the judge disagrees, the trial will continue and Kanu will have to present his own defense. But many people says that this case is already dead. Many people say that the case is already dead. The government is just doesn't want to admit it. That's just it. Chowore has said the case is dead. Many Nigerians, even foreigners, American observers have been sent to come and witness. They said the case that is already dead. This case should have been ruled out since if it's a normal court system. But of course, Nigeria and corruption and illegal things. Look at the way they illegally arrested him. They will not see it that way. They don't want to admit that this case is dead. So now, why are they still holding him? If the court says they should release him, why are they disobeying the courts? That's the questions we need to ask. Why are they still holding him? The court has said they should release him. Why don't they obey the courts? Remember what I said about the constitution. Is this justice or is it revenge? I just want to know. Is this justice or revenge? Because the court has said release him. Why is it that they don't want to obey the court? Why not free him and use political dialogue to solve the crisis? Because locking someone up without evidence is not justice, it is oppression. Locking someone up without evidence is not justice, it is oppression. And today, it's Kanu, tomorrow it can be anyone. It can be anyone tomorrow. So now Kanu should be released. That is what we are saying, because honestly, his case is dead. Dead. Long time ago, the case died. In fact, the case never existed. The case never existed. People that did not believe in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, now they are seeing it for themselves now. Now they are realizing, because of what happened in Fulani, in Benue State, what is happening in the south is the killing, the massacre, and everything. You see? Guys, take a look at this video.
Yes. And only on the high school, just everybody knows you. Nobody should take instruction. All instruction should be from now. Yes. Anybody make instruction at also their friends on the school. Yes. Over on everybody. No, tell me standing there and making progress. And I see that in the high speed, they do now. That is the president in the high speed. So now in our seeing any instructions at home. If it's not so, yes. No other person. You know, I don't know if any day on that court, I got more than service, or 1 hour I build in and you know, I'm watching. We'll make progress, we'll win the battle. Thank you. Thank you, man. I just think the also 30th. When you get the also apart from that 30th. No, that person. When you get on your own, and so can it be behind me? Giving but I would thank you very much. They will. They will.
So guys, you hear what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. These people that are ordering sit at home, making it look like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist. He has come out several times. He come out to say that it has nothing to do with killings. He doesn't carry gun. His weapon is his word. His weapon is his word. The only mission he have is just to liberate Nigerians. That's the only mission we have, to liberate the Igbos, and most especially because of they suffered during the civil war by being denied our rights. They kill us and they use our resources. They don't want us to get into power, but they can use our resources. The Igbos have been marginalized. The Igbos have been persecuted. So that's the major aim of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That's his sole aim. He has no crime case. He has no crime case. He did not do anything. You lock up someone, you cannot give evidence why you locked him up. Is that not oppression? Is that justice? That's oppression. DSS cannot prove that it's a terrorist. That was why the judge had to close that case. He had to close the case immediately because they cannot prove. 4 witnesses that was presented. None can prove that he's a terrorist. None can prove that he's a terrorist. So guys, now people are now realizing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu his mission is not to kill or to kidnap, because of what he said when he was warning the warning Nigerians of these people called Fulanis. Yes, as it stands, everybody is vulnerable to these people. Do you know happening now we know co? Happening now we know co. These people are going from one place to another. People students going from one lodge to another. Happening now in okay, I'm not joking. See how that's why I said Benue State is close to Southeast, but now they'll say it's IPOP. They'll say it's IPOP. This is happening now. Okay, people are running. These Fulanis, they're going from lodge to lodge. Guys, you can see that nowhere is safe. Even in your home, nowhere is safe. These people that was killed in Yelewata, they were in their homes, so they did not go out. They were in their homes, people marched in. And those people, and a survivor said that he's sure that these people are Fulani people. That he's sure. So you can see that everyone is vulnerable. Everyone, remember when he was, advising, warning Nigerian government. He has come to say that he's not a terrorist. Sorry, he's not a prophetess or a prophet. That he's just saying based on the way Nigeria is going. That's just it. So you can see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was warning them. Take a look at the video when he was warning Nigerian government of these Fulani people. Look at what's happening. Now, if these people are attacking, they will say it's IPOB. They use that one as, the only thing to say that IPOB has been causing violence in the southeast, but they cannot prove. Guys, take a look.
Fulani can control you however they like. Once they announce it, Yoruba newspapers very foolishly and stupidly will support them because they want Tinubu as the president. And you are all dying every blessed day. You are all dying every day. Had you people risen up to say that what is happening in Nigeria is bad, there is no way that Fashoranti's daughter will not be alive today. That is the price you pay for duplicity. That is the price you pay for treachery. That is the price you will continue to pay until you rise up and say, enough is enough. It is up to you to do it. You did it during NSAS. You can do it again. Can you imagine Fulani people telling you, if you remove Fulanis from Yoruba forest, imagine Fulani telling you, if you remove them from your ancestral lands, there will be war, and you are panicking. And you have not asked yourself, why are they not saying something about the East? Why did they not say to Eastern Security Network? Why did they not say to me, if you don't stop evacuating Fulani terrorists from the forest, there will be war? Because they know. They understand psychologically that you don't have what it takes to resist them. Do you know why Borno State is still alive? Why you still have the Kanuri people in Borno today? Was because they resisted the Fulani centuries ago. You have to go back to history to understand how Nigeria came into existence. Fulani has been expanding from day one, from Senegambia. All the way from Senegambia, they've been expanding, and now they are in Okigwe. All the way from Senegambia. They are now in Okigwe. And you're asking us to somehow fold our hands and keep quiet because of 2023, because one idiot is going to come out to become a president, because of that rubbish, because of that nonsensical notion, we should fold our hands and wait until we are overrun by the Janjaweed from the Sahel. Is that how reasonable people think? Is that how people that wish to survive as a race, is that how they reason? It is very, very shocking that some of you do not understand what the Fulanis have in store for you. Very, very soon it is going to happen. And when it happens, your eyes will clear. And about whom you will see it very clearly. I was warning you. In 2014, 2015, 2016, they said he's a warmonger. He's a warmongering. I went to America and I told World Igbo Congress that this war you are avoiding is going to come to your villages. They said, no, it's not going to happen. What is happening today? When Yoruba was supporting the dead idiot called Buhari, did I not warn them that this evil you're supporting will consume you? They never listened. They never wanted to listen. IPOB is a terrorist group. You're trying to divide Nigeria. But Mietiala is not. People that you are calling bandits, have you heard anybody come out to say, please Buhari, since presidency is there defending terrorists in the forest, why don't you proscribe them? No, you cannot proscribe a Fulani group. Never. And all of you, we are supporting evil. When there is the proscribed IPOB, proscribed indigenous people of Biafra. These are Yoruba journalists writing junk. Every day they keep writing rubbish. But their land is under siege. Their land is under siege. And the Fulani will take it. It doesn't take time. So I am here today to encourage them that they must stand tall and be very strong, resolute. That is what Fulani does. They control the media. They have well-paid consultants all over the world doing their bidding for them. They have that woman at UN trying to lobby the world that everything is okay in the zoo called Nigeria. But you and I know that the zoo is not okay. You and I know the game plan of the Fulani. And what are you doing about it? Nothing. Every day you read, you lament, you complain. Every day you read, you lament. And that's all you do. That is all you do. You read, you lament, you complain, you do nothing about it. Your lives are being taken away from you. Your forests are being occupied. Your mothers are being raped. Your daughters are being abducted. And the whole national government, presidency, is supporting such people. And you're telling me that Nigeria is viably sustainable. Is that what you're telling me? That somehow this contraption is sustainable, it is viable. It can never be. Because the more you stay in one Nigeria, the more you are inviting the Fulanis to take over your ancestral lands, take over your villages, and to make life a misery for you. That is the end game. That is the outcome. If you doubt me, go and do a bit of research. Ask yourself, who are the Hausa people? Who are the Nupe people? Who are the Bachama people? All of these people were steamrolled by the Fulani march to the Atlantic Ocean. And now they're in Yoruba land. They're in their forests. They are in their forests. And who is going to drive them away from there? It's not the Yoruba youths. Forget about your useless governors. Your elders are very strong. I love Yoruba elders. The way they behave, the way they talk. Very, very strong. They say they support Akeredolu. This is the governor of Ondo State. They support him in what he's doing. People must come out to say that enough is enough. When you travel to the north, do you live in the forest in the north? The Igbo people in Sabongeri in Kanu. Are they living of course it's Hausa land, are they living in the forest? They came to the town, they work very hard, they build houses, they build mansions, they develop the entire place. Is that not what they do? What are Fulani people doing in our forest? Nobody can answer that question. They say that they're pastoralists. I want some of you who have had your breakfast this morning, please go to your fridge or go to where you keep your beverages and you will see pig milk. Pig. Some of us were raised on pig milk. For how many years now? And you keep asking yourself, what is pig milk? Pig milk is the same milk that the cows produce in Holland can be produced in the zoo. Tell me the country in the world aspiring to be a member of the UN Security Council where you move cattle from place to place. Are you people well at all? You so-called Nigerians, are you normal in the brain? I'm asking you a simple question. Show me a country that aspires to be in the 21st century, moving cattle from place to place, telling me they're grazing. Which country is that? Please tell me. All of you don't have any shame. When you have people, an entire presidency coming out to defend a very primitive, archaic agricultural practice, then you know you embrace this mess. You are in one almighty trouble, I'm telling you. People are in a mess. The Holland that you get your pig milk from, do they move cattle from Rotterdam to Amsterdam? I'm asking you a simple question. But they produce the pig milk that you're drinking every blessed day. Why can't Fulani produce pig milk in Sokoto? Why can't they produce carnation milk in Kanu? They have the cattle. Before the white man came, did you see any Fulani in your forest? All these people talking rubbish about movement of cattle and movement of... I'm asking you, before Britain came and handed over Nigeria to Fulani, ask your grandfathers, please, or your grandmothers. Ask them. All this nonsense we are hearing today in this so-called one, I want to tell you the dangers of one Nigeria. All this nonsense you're hearing today about one Nigeria, Fulani in our forest, Fulani in our village. Before the white man came, did you see Fulani moving their cattle all over the place? Did we not have meat to eat? They will answer these questions for you. Because sometimes in Africa we don't reason very well. The way we reason is jaundiced, it is disjointed. I can't understand for the life of me why instead of them to waste all that money arming and equipping this Janjaweed army Mihetiala to come and conquer you and I, Why don't they open a milk factory somewhere in the north and bring the milk down south? I'm sure Southerners will buy it. After all, pig milk comes all the way from Holland. Pig milk all the way from Holland. Now you understand it. Because of the way you people reason. Why can't you produce? Is it difficult?
So, guys, you can see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was the one saving Nigeria. Now they did not listen. It is playing out today. It's playing out in Nigeria today, in the southeast, in the north, in the west. These Fulanis, like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, he said that British handed Nigeria over to the Fulanis, and it's happening now. You can see that the president, like, obeys the fact Fulani. He obeys the Fulani. If one Fulani goes down now, you see the president in action. But if many externals, or he won't even make attempts to stop the killings of the Igbos. Why is it that they sideline one particular tribe called Fulanis? Even their cows are seen as, superior, are seen as, in fact, their cow, according to Nigerian government, their cow are above the law. I am telling you the truth. This is what is happening in Nigeria. So, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case is empty. The government has said everything they have, and even if we don't say anything in return, it still doesn't prove Kanu is guilty. DSS said he's a terrorist. You can't prove it. So now this man should not even be standing trial. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not supposed to be standing trial. The case should be dismissed immediately. So let's know that the court has given 14 days for the defense to file their witness address or their written address, and 14 days to the prosecution to respond. The next court date is 18th of July 2025. Now, let's do a recap of what happened during the court section. The DSS, they presented 4 DSS. Let's note that one senior officer came to testify. He tried to prove that Kanu was leading IPOB and planning illegal activities, but under cross-examination, he couldn't even present hard evidence of Kanu's personal ordering, or Kanu personally ordering violence. That is it. He admitted that they got most of their information from radio broadcast and social media posts. They rely on Vanguard, on publication. They don't even rely on their personal investigation. They say Kanu has been planning illegal activities. Now you can't even give or present hard evidence of Kanu personally ordering the violence, and they said he's a terrorist. This is one of the reasons the judge had to close the case, because in fact, they have nothing to say. Another witness, the second witness, said that IPOB members are involved in attack in the southeast, but again, he couldn't show direct proof that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ordered or planned any attack. He couldn't connect Kanu's word directly to any physical attack of violence. In fact, during the cross-examination, he was sweating. He contradicted himself many times. Guys, you can see that these DSS people have no case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are just, trying to make sure that they bring him down. So now, let's know that independent observers, like the last court section, American observers was sent to come and quietly, attend some section. They quietly attended some sections. They were watching closely how Nigeria handles this case, and then many lawyers has concluded and said that Nigeria, both international, has said that if this case was not in a normal court system, they said if this case was in a normal court system, it would have been thrown out long time ago. So now, Nigerian court has said it that the way they brought back Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or the way they kidnapped him from Kenya to Nigeria, is illegal. Nigerian government has also finished presenting their case, and still no strong evidence. This man has been in solitary confinement with health issues. His detention is only creating more anger and tension in the southeast. International observers and legal experts are calling it an abuse of human rights. Guys, this is one of the reasons why he should be released, and also this is one of the reasons why this is one of the rare reasons why the judge had to shock Nigerians in the last court section to close Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case against the federal government. So now we are waiting for 18th of July, the Federal High Court to rule on the no case submission. If the judge agrees with Kanu's lawyer, the case will be dismissed and he will go free. If the judge disagrees, the trial will continue and Kanu will have to present his own defense. But many are saying that the case is already dead. The government just doesn't want to admit it. That is just it. The government doesn't want to admit it. Now people are asking, why they continue holding him there? Now, why are they holding him there when the court has already released him? the court has said that the fact that they kidnapped him from Kenya, even international laws and Nigerian laws are against it. So why is Nigerian government still holding him there? The fact that they kidnapped him from Kenya to Nigeria is illegal. And this is, I want to just ask if this is justice or being a revenge, because the court has said it. Why is it they don't want to obey courts? Why is it they don't want to obey the rule of law after they say they are practicing democracy? So now, why don't they free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and then use political dialogue to solve all these crises? Because locking someone up without evidence is not justice, is what oppression. See, it can today it can be Kanu, but tomorrow it can be anyone. That's just it. Nigerian government have nothing to, like, they have nothing to hold him off. He has committed no crime. The crime is dead. That was why the judge has to close that case day before yesterday. So guys, this is the real reason why the judge had to close Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case against the federal government. So we've come to the end of this like section. Do well to hit that subscribe button, like and share this video. Don't miss any of our live cut section. Don't miss any of our live section, because we still come back and update you guys on what is happening via Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case, and also Simeonekpa's case, and also what is happening in Nigeria as a whole. So don't miss any of our live section. So guys, do well to drop a comment below. Let me know your thought on this headline. Do well to drop a comment. Also drop a like for us. Hit the like button. Also share. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.